Hi guys, I'm Lyra. Um, I just wanted to start this YouTube series because I've had so many just absolutely crazy alien experiences, and it's getting to be like too much for me to even be able to keep track of anymore. So I just figured it was about time that I share my stories with everybody. I think other people need to hear this, and I kind of want to be a mentor for people that are going through these types of experiences and are making first contact and everything, and to just kind of show them not to be afraid. And it's really amazing what is happening right now. So I'll start with my first experience, which happened to me October 13th. I remember because it's my favorite month and my favorite number, or was then, 2016. And this takes a lot of mental energy for me to be able to tell this story, so forgive me if it takes me a little bit to recuperate and gather my thoughts and everything. So, October 13th, 2016. Me and my friend had gone to this Halloween event in Florida, and we were driving back from Tampa back to his house, and he lives like in the middle of fucking nowhere in St. Cloud. So I was going back to drop him off, or no, he was driving. And the night before, I had watched the movie Interstellar, which was amazing. It was like my new favorite movie. So we're talking about aliens and UFOs and everything like that all night. And I have never really been one to believe in aliens, or maybe I did, but I didn't want to think about it because the possibility of something like that existing was going to be my worst fear. So I would just rather not think about it and just pretend they don't exist, I guess. So after I watched that movie, it kind of got me thinking more, and we had been talking about it all night. We had been talking about aliens and UFOs and stuff all night. And so driving home, we were still talking about it, listening to like space music, what I call space music. And then I remember looking out the window, and there were so many stars. It was so clear. And I said that to him. I'm like, wow, it's so pretty. And then I looked back at my phone for maybe 2 seconds just to like change a song or something. And then I looked back, and the sky was totally covered in clouds. So I was like, do you see this? Wasn't it just perfectly clear 2 seconds ago? And he was like, yeah, that's weird. I don't know what happened. So we were both just kind of like, yeah, okay, that was weird. So we just like kind of, brush it off, keep driving. And then it started to get clearer again. And I saw this like really bright star, and I didn't really think anything of it, but it caught my attention, and I like kept my eye on it, so, and I didn't say anything to him, but as we were driving, getting closer to his house, started to get like off the highway and into this like woodsy area, and we got on this road where there was absolutely no street lights, no other cars, and it's just like forest on both sides. And I remember just like talking to him, and I'm like seeing this star getting like lower and lower and lower, and I don't know if like my mind's playing tricks on me or like what I'm seeing, but I'm just like watching it. And then it got to the point where it was like so low that I was like, okay, that's a fucking plane. There's no way that that's a star anymore. So I was like, okay, well, there's probably like an airport around here somewhere or something, whatever. Keep driving. This plane is about to land in the woods, and I'm pretty sure there's not an airport in there, or it's just gonna like crash on the side of the road. So I'm just like, what the hell? Okay, so, and like while we were driving on this road, and I was like still watching this thing, I was just like, just joking, like, oh my God, like if a UFO is gonna abduct us, now would be the perfect time because there's nobody else here. This road's really creepy. So, I'm just like watching this thing, and it's about to like land on the side of the fucking road. So, like, we're about to drive right by it, and right before we drive by it, I'm like still not believing what I'm seeing. So I'm like still like joking, and I just like hit him, and I was like, oh look, a UFO. And then he goes, oh no, that's just a plane. And then we drove right by where it landed. It landed at like the same time that we were driving by, and it was this like clearing, like a little like field area in the middle of the forest. And it was this huge fucking craft, and it was like hovering 15 feet above the ground, maybe like 200 feet away from us. Anyways, it was so close to us that there's nothing else that it could have been. Like, we could see every detail of it. And so rewind, and he's like, oh no, that's just a plane. And I'm like looking at this thing, and I'm like, that is not a fucking plane. It's not fucking moving. And so I'm like hitting him, and I'm like, oh my God, that's a fucking UFO. And then he did like a double take, and he was like, oh my God, ah! And then I started screaming. I'm like, ah! We're both like looking at each other, just like screaming. And so we like keep driving, and I'm like, oh my God, that was real. Aliens are real, and they know I'm real. They fucking heard me when I said I wanted to see a UFO. And I'm like crying and shaking, and I'm like, I don't know what to think right now. I'm just like freaking the fuck out, and he's freaking the fuck out, and I'm like, oh my God, you saw that too. I'm not fucking crazy. So I was still like trying to wrap my brain around like what just happened. And like I said, like aliens are like my worst fucking fear if I ever knew that they existed. So I'm like freaking out, for just like freaking the fuck out. And then we called my friend who's like super into aliens, and we're like, oh my God, we just saw this UFO. It just landed right next to us, and aliens know that I'm real, and they want to abduct me or something. I don't know what they want from me. But they heard me when I talked to them. And she's like, oh my God, go back and take a fucking picture. What are you doing? And I'm like, no, I'm scared. And then so we were on the phone with her, and I was like, okay, fine, we'll go back. So we're like driving back, and this is maybe just like 7 minutes after it happened or something. It wasn't that long. So we're like driving back, and we get to around the spot where it was, and the call starts like breaking up, and I was like, hello? And then a call dropped, and I was like, ah, like freaking out even more. And my other friend's like, I live down the street, and I'm on this road every single day of my life, and I have never lost service here. And I'm like, well, what provider do you have? Do I just have like a shitty provider? And we both have fucking T-Mobile. So we're like, Oh my God. So then we drive right to where we saw it, and it was gone. And then we had to get out of the area before we were able to call her back again. And then on my way home, I didn't want to drive home by myself, so I was like on the phone. I drove by that spot again, and the call was fine. Crazy. So yeah, this is chapter 1 of this series. I think it's going to be amazing. Stay tuned for more alien adventures.